squad list for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games has been released. 18 players caught up with 4 alternates, as they have to. Unfortunately, the Olympic Games does not allow us to call 23, into the squad, or 25, 26, 27, like we've seen in recent times. So yes, just 18 players in the main team, and then 4 alternate players that are available in case, we need them to do something for us. I'll run through the list very quickly, Smith, and then we'll get into the conversation. Okay, so on your screen now is the squad list. I hope you guys can see that clearly. The goalkeepers, we have Chiamaka Nnadozie, we have Tochukwu Olwehi. Defenders, Osinachi Ohale, Oluwatosin Demain, Michelle Alozie, Nicole Payne, and Chidima Okeke. Midfielders, we have Deborah Abiodun, Halima Twainde, Christy Uchebe, Jennifer Echegini, and Tony Payne. And then forwards, Rasheedat Ajibade, the captain of the team, Esther Okoronkwo, Asisat Oshoala, former captain, Uchenna Kanu, Chinwendu Ihezuo, and Chinonyerem McLeans. So I will say, very, very interesting squad selection. If you guys go and watch the last video where Smith Layi and I tried to predict the team that was going to be called up, we didn't quite get it right. Neither of us got it right, but I think I came really close. I came really close to getting my selection right. Just a few pieces that honestly I don't know who could have predicted, but I came really, really close. Smith Layi too was close, but I think I was closer. But yes, and just before we get into the talk about each player and the squad list, just to update you guys as well, there's going to be a change in the team because unfortunately Halima Twainde suffered an injury in training yesterday. You know how unfortunate. The squad was announced. She must have been so excited, and unfortunately she got injured in training, so she's having to withdraw from the squad. And they haven't announced the replacement yet, but she's going to be replaced by one of the 4 players on the alternate list. The 4 players were Jumoke Alani, Morufa, Gift Monday, and Ife Onumono. So one of those 4 players is going to join the team. We have to wait and see who the coach decides to go with. We have to wait and see. Okay, Smith Layi, I'll let you go first on this one. When you saw the squad lists yesterday, what were your initial thoughts? How did you feel about it?
Yes, thanks for actually bringing me on again. When I saw the list, like at least if we know even try itself, we nearly got it right. At least 15, 14 correct, but like few things they don't really add up. So I was expecting the exact team that actually was played, but the only player that surprised me was actually Chinere McLean. That was a player that was really surprised. But I expect that there's going to be 2 goalkeepers. There was 2 goalkeepers. I thought that there's going to be. You said that Nico Payne. That's why I said they call you. You are part of the kitchen cabinet because you you said Nico Payne will be there. And I remember people in the comment section were saying that AyoT get inside sauce. So that one was a very sneaky move, and you got it right. That was very, very good. I didn't expect her to actually make it despite, she didn't really do well in PSG, but she's just trying to get herself back in America now. And, and I don't think she played any of the qualifiers. So I was surprised that she actually made the team. So, not really surprised about this thing, but, for me, I think I'm actually okay with what actually picked.
And I will say, I also am overall very pleased with the team. It is almost the 18 players that I've expected. With Nicole Payne, I just had that sneaky feeling. After she had moved to America, I had watched her play some games in America. She was doing pretty well. She was first a sub player for her club. Then she earned the starting shirt and started starting games. And Randy Waldrum lives in the US. He's a US citizen. So something in my mind was just telling me, I honestly did not have any inside info about that. Something in my mind just told me that this girl is playing well at the moment. So the coach might probably pick her. And we have to also remember the fact that she's a fullback. She's a fullback. And we don't have that many fullbacks in our team. I was also thinking of the fact that Ashley Plumter may not be fit and we will need a fullback. That's one of the reasons why I thought she'll be there. And, I happen to be right about it. So I'll clap for myself for that one. But like you said, Chinoyere McLean's not somebody that I expected. Neither of us, when we were calling our 18, even our 22, including the four alternates, we did
Mm-hmm.
not even think about her.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think her inclusion in that squad kind of shows that Randy Waldrum selected who he feels are his best options for the tournament. We joked on this live that Ifeoma Monu is his first daughter. Even the times that people felt like she wasn't performing, she didn't deserve to be in the team. This man
Mm-hmm.
kept on calling her up. In fact, he kept on starting her in the games. People will complain, he will start her again next match. But he left out right now. It means that he wasn't biased, he wasn't sentimental in his selection. He selected who he feels he needs and can do a job for him. For people that might not be aware of Chinoyere McLean's, because I saw a lot of comments on social media. People were knocking her. Oh, who is this one? Why is she there? Oh, some people said the list is perfect except McLean's. And I always implore and I always encourage Nigerians that if you do not know somebody, don't just assume that the person is bad, because that is the mentality that always makes our Super Eagles to go and mess up. You just see one country now, you say, you don't know this country. Now, which player do they have? Oh, they must be bad. Next thing, we're losing to Benin Republic. So because you don't know Chinoyere McLean's, does not mean that she's a bad player. Some people said, she played for Super Falcons before and she messed up. And I'm like, guys, she was at the WAFCON, the last
Mm-hmm.
WAFCON.
Mm-hmm.
She played 2 matches for a total of 37 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
37 minutes in 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Where people were expecting her to score 4 goals in 37 minutes. Like what exactly did they expect to see from her? For you to watch somebody play 37 minutes across 2 games. So that was maybe 18 in the first game and this thing 19 in the second game. And for you to now say, oh, she's a bad player, she messed up, she doesn't deserve to be there. I think it's just very harsh and it's just born out of ignorance, with all due respect to anybody that said that. She plays for Lokomotiv Moscow in the Russian Women's League. Unfortunately, obviously, with the situation in the world, the Russian league, even the male league, is not being watched and televised as much as it used to be before. But she's a player that has been delivering. This season so far, she has played 12 games. She has scored 6 goals. Out of those
Mm-hmm.
12 games, she started 9 of the games. So 9 starts, she has 6 goals. And I think 1 assist. So she's scoring about a goal every other game, which is a good return for a striker. And another thing is that she is a different kind of striker to the options that we have in attack. She's very different from Kano. She's very different from Ajibade. She's very different from Oshoala. She's very different from who else? Monday. She's different from Tony Payne. So she brings in a different style of play. She is a physical player. She's tall. She's good in the air. She's strong. She's direct. She can finish. And it doesn't mean she's going to start. She might not necessarily play that many minutes, but she's an option for when the coach wants to try something different. When we're playing against a Spain, for example, and maybe we're barely having possession, and you need somebody that can hold the ball up, and can be strong and, really bring others into the game, maybe she can be a good option. Sometimes if you're chasing a game and you need somebody that is a physical presence, towards the end of matches, when balls are flying into the box and you need somebody that can impose herself, maybe she can be a good option. But for me, even though I was not expecting to see her in the team, I am not in any way upset or disappointed, or I feel like she's deserving of a spot. I feel like she can offer value, and I am happy to see her in the team, because she's somebody that sometime in the past I really, really was impressed with her performances when I was following the Russian Women's League a lot closer than I am now. So shout out to Chinoyere McLean's. I hope that she gets some games. I hope that she does well. Smith,
Yes.
do you have anything to say on McLean's before I ask something else?
The time that she played AFCON, I think that was in 2001 or so. I don't know. It was it on the AFCON she played was about 2 years ago, was it not? So
Yes.
About 2 years ago, a player, I think she improved her game, after that. So, I also went to check some of her clips too, recent clips too, about how she was performing in Russia. But because she wasn't the qualifiers, that's why people were asking questions about why is she there. So, but in my own personal opinion, I just think that he's a very smart striker. I see him as a smart striker, and someone that can offer something different compared to the options we have now. So in my own opinion, I think that for him to drop his first daughter for 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 McLean, that means that there's something special about the girl. So in my opinion, I just think that let's see what she can actually do. But for me, I just think that he picked her for some certain games. That is it. It's not as if just like that one is like tactical.
Okay. Let's talk about some other players in the team very quickly. I mean, Chiamaka Nnadozie, I think without a shadow of a doubt, it was always probably maybe even the first name on the team. Chiamaka Nnadozie, goalkeeper for Paris FC. She had a fantastic season, for her club. Also, fantastic performances for Nigeria. No matter how far back you look at it, if you say, "Oh, let's look at the last year, let's look at the last 2 years, let's look at the last 3 years," in fact, you can even say, "Let's look at the last 4 years." Chiamaka has been fantastic over that period. Smith, like, what do you
Yeah.
think this Olympic Games? What can it do for a player like Chiamaka Nnadozie?
Like we discussed before that you asked me several questions that what is the next level. For me, I just think that she needs to actually perform very well. It's not as if she's not doing well in international competitions. You need to actually perform very well for Nigeria to actually go far. Because for me, arguably she was our best player in the last World Cup, but unfortunately we didn't go far. We actually crashed out in the second round. So for if she can perform well and for us to also go deep in that competition, I think that she's going to get more global recognition, for her words. So for me, I just think that she needs to continue to do what she's doing. I like the way she likes to organize her backline, fantastic in organization, and she has been playing with those girls for a while now. So I don't think that actually was strangers to her. She was with Chiamaka and even Chidema Okeke during the 20s, she's been playing with what's it called?
Ajibade.
Ajibade. With I'm not talking about the back line for a while
Oh,
now.
okay.
So it's a more stable back line. So I just think that for me, she just needs to continue to what she's doing, and I pray that Nigeria goes deeper in this competition. She's really doing well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I would 100% agree with you that she's really, really doing well. And this, this competition can propel her even further because for as good as she's been, when you look at maybe people talking about world goalkeepers in women's football,
Mhm.
somehow, her name keeps missing out. And I look at it and I'm like, how is she not, on these lists? I remember when they did the last, was it the Ballon d'Or or one of those awards? And the Barcelona sub goalkeeper that played maybe only about 15 matches or thereabout was making top goalkeeper list. But a player like Chiamaka
Mhm.
that was fantastic for club and country did not make the list. And I just felt like, wow, I don't know, is it because she's African or what exactly is it that that is not making her get recognition? But after her performance at the World Cup, people noticed her a little bit more. And then now going to the Olympic Games, and we're playing against three very tough teams. We'll talk about them in a second. I think that if she can have another fantastic tournament, maybe save two penalties. But hey, wait. In fact, I take that back. I don't even want us to be conceding penalty in the first place for her to save. So maybe she just save shots in the matches, normal shots. Have a fantastic tournament, and then people can start to really see what we Nigerians have known for a long time. That Chiamaka
Mhm.
Nnadozie is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about another player. We're going to take about one player in each position. I'm going to say in the defense, Chidima Okeke, a player that I would say, in the I don't know if you guys have seen this funny video of Micah Richards when they were talking and they said, oh, he burst onto the scene.
Mhm.
Chidima Okeke was a player who burst onto the scene at the 2019 Women's World Cup then in France. She came as a relatively unknown player against South Korea, got that assist for the goal that Oshoala scored. And then we thought, wow, her future is so bright. she's going to go into bigger things and so many higher levels. But unfortunately, she suffered a serious injury. And in women's football, it's not as opportunistic as men's football. When you suffer a serious injury like that, facilities are not the same, resources are not the same. She had to spend some time out of the game, but she has found herself playing football again in Japan, and she has shown that, hey, I might have missed about a year of football, but I can still play at a very high level. She was recalled into the Super Falcons team in recent times, and in the games that she played in the qualifiers, we saw her quality and we saw how good she still is. So looking forward to this tournament, what do you think we can expect from a player like Chidima Okeke?
For me, I like you said, I remember she played for Nigeria too, alongside with Chiamaka Nnadozie in the previous under 20 World Cup before she was also picked for that World Cup in France. I remember the conversation she had with Oshoala when she was being substituted, to come in that game, one of the games, and he hears it, no fear, oh, no fear, just it was like Oshoala was trying to trying to make sure that she's pumped up for that, as she was entering. It was very good and it was lovely, but like you actually what said, you know, um, injuries slowed her down, and I remember that during the WAFCON, she came on your live show, to just support those girls when they lost to Morocco. If you remember that she was coming from training then, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
But in summary of it all, I think I rate her to be one of Nigeria's best defenders. I have to be honest with you. It's because of like a no nonsense nature again of defending. She's like a no nonsense. She's tough, hard like a nail, as a nail. She doesn't give up easily. That's one thing actually what makes her special. So I just think that this, these Olympics will also help her reputation. You don't forget that she's played on that world run before in the American series also, but I
Yeah.
think better now. So I think this one will actually enhance her reputation. I think she will also will do well. But I don't see her starting
Mm.
that much. I don't see her starting that much. I think it's going to be maybe Nico Payne. I don't know, but let's wait and see.
I see her starting, but maybe at the end we'll talk about who we think will be the starting 11.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the midfield. Now, the player that I want to highlight in the midfield, I'm sure anybody that's watching us now knows this player and loves this player. Maybe you don't, so we'll tell you a little bit about her. I'm talking about Jennifer Onyinye Echegini. Jennifer Echegini, if you don't know her story, you can go on Eagle Striker YouTube channel. I had an interview with her last summer, where we spoke about where she was born, how she got into football, everything. She played for Nigeria at the 2023 Women's World Cup while she was still in college. In fact, I remember in that interview that I did with her, she said she was working her job as a waitress
Hmm.
when she got the notification that she had been called up for the Olympics. You can imagine she was working as a waitress when
These
she got
Olympics.
no, sorry, for the World Cup, not the Olympics,
Okay,
for the
okay, okay.
last World Cup. So that's to show you she was such a college player, a small player, but she was able to rise to the occasion. She was able to show her quality in the limited minutes that she got.
Hmm.
If Alozie was a better finisher, she would have gotten a crucial goal for us, a crucial assist for us in that game against England. But I think we've seen her also sign a professional contract with Juventus,
Yes.
and in a very, very short amount of time, she just lit it up. She
Hmm.
lit it up. She was one of the best players for Juventus last season, even though she only played half of the year. Scored about, I think, was 10 goals or so in 16 games. Fantastic and quality goals as well. Now she's going to the Olympics with the Super Falcons.
Hmm.
Smith Layi, what do you think she can bring to the team, and what impact can she make at this tournament?
I remember the first time I saw her play for Nigeria was when she played against was in New Zealand in the pre-World Cup friendly game. I think we won 3-0. So I just remember asking one of my friends that this girl with that lose her hair and running the midfield, who is this girl? I beg. So I said, she went through the Arsenal system, not in America and everything. She's a girl that when I saw her first, I actually I was so impressed in her. And I don't know, maybe it's a personal bias. Me, I like a player that can actually drive with the ball. That is one thing. She reminds me of Alexandra Leb, the of Arsenal. If you if you watch Leb play, he plays as if there's nothing. Okay, and that's how she drives with the ball, and she was so instrumental towards qualifying for the Olympics too. So she's a player that she's a player to watch, and I think that I told you something before going to the AFCON that the key player for Nigeria will be Ademola Lookman going to the AFCON. And I'm telling you now that Jennifer Echegini will be instrumental for Nigeria progressing in these next Olympics.
Smith Layi has come. Smith Layi has come with his prediction.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And I will say, I agree with almost everything that you said. She's a fantastic talent. She's a quality attacking option from midfield. If we need her to even go out wide, she can also play out wide. She has a good finish. She has a good read on the game. She's an intelligent player. But even off the field, she's intelligent. And I feel like that intelligence also translates and shows on the pitch when she's playing. She's a free spirit. She said one of her idols growing up was Ronaldinho. So she's one of those players that on the ball she can produce some magic, and of course she can shoot, she can score a quality goal. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she will do for us. Will she be a key player for us? We have to wait and see. I think she will definitely make an impact when she plays. It all depends on how the coach sets up. Maybe she starts, maybe she doesn't start. Is a tricky one. Maybe she has a better chance of starting now that Ayinde is no longer even in the team. But we have to wait and see. But I think she's going to add a lot of quality to the team. Okay, before we go to the forwards, let me just quickly take some comments so that I don't miss on the comments too much. And anybody that's talking about anything that we haven't gotten to yet, I won't take your comments right now so that we take the conversation in order. Some people are saying it's so sad to miss Ayinde. Yes, I agree. She's a miss. We'll talk about who we think will replace her in a second. Somebody says, good evening. Concerning the Super Falcons Olympic team list, I love the balance of the squad. Said players miss out because of injury, but I'm still happy with the squad. I guess he's talking about Ayinde and maybe Ashley Plumter as well. Paulo Okoli says, Chinwendu is a good addition, though. I like that inclusion. Yes, Chinwendu Ihezuo, definitely a good player. Adegbola says, my special appeal to the manager is that he should pick players on merit to start a game, especially when it comes to Super Z. We'll talk about that one later. Let me see. Adegbola Oluwaseunfunmi says, Jennifer, the Juventus player. Honestly, I love that girl so much. Fantastic player. Very, very skillful. I agree with you. She's a fantastic, skillful player. Monday says, Echegini is one of the best in that midfield. Raw talent. I completely agree with you. She just started playing in Europe, so maybe you can say she's not a robot yet. When you get to Europe and they make you play like a robot, she still has that natural ability, flair, skill. She can drive with the ball and produce moments of magic. Some people on Instagram as well. We have comments from Instagram. Let me see what you guys are saying. Official Fem says Smith Layi, she will be the left back, talking about Chidima Okeke. Felix says Jennifer is top notch, one to watch out for, definitely. Yes, I agree with you. She's one to watch out for. Sandy BMDL, Jennifer is my best player. Muyi King says Jennifer will likely be putting Payne on the bench. That's a conversation. Let me see. Princess Deborah Abiodun too. Yeah, Deborah Abiodun, definitely a quality player to have in the team. I didn't spotlight her right now, but we know the quality that she brings. Felix says play Jennifer in front of Christy Uchebe and see magic. Okay. Let's talk about one of the forwards that we'll pick just to discuss. And I'm not going to go with Mark Lins. We already spoke about her. I'm going to go with Esther Okoronkwo. Esther Okoronkwo is another player that you would imagine that by now Super Falcons and Nigerian fans will know who she is. But I saw some comments on social media yesterday that made me realize that not everybody is paying attention like that. People, and I always say, unfortunately, Nigerian fans, with all due respect to everybody, before you come and just bash a player, at least do a little bit of research. I saw some comments. Who is this Okoronkwo? How can she be in the team? And I was like, what? How can that be? If you even want to pick anybody from the team and say, oh, should not be there, how can you pick Esther Okoronkwo and say she should not be there? Her Super Falcons record speaks for itself. This is a girl that turns up for us almost every time that she plays for us. She's a sneaky player. She's a sneaky goal scorer. You look at her, you don't necessarily, she doesn't look like the most threatening person in the attack, but she has quality. In the air, she can hit the ball. With her feet, she can shoot well. She has a little bit of strength. She has a little bit of pace. She can run in behind. If you need her to do, she can also play from the flanks. And I just think she's an excellent option for us in this tournament. Personally, I wouldn't even be surprised if she starts some games for us at this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think she has a good chance of starting. So I was a bit surprised when people were commenting negatively about her. But Smith Layi, I'll throw it to you. What are your thoughts on Esther Okoronkwo?
No, she's a good, she's a very good player. When you were just talking, I remember the interview she had with you. That's one of the most funniest interview I have ever seen. In fact, yeah. I was laughing in the night. We were thinking that maybe there was something wrong with me, because it night I was like listening to that interview, and I was like, oh my days, very fantastic player. This, both on and off the pitch, very lively. She's a player that when she's playing, she always play with her flair and everything. But sometimes missing opportunities. She needs to actually look at that area very well. In my own opinion, he's a very good player, but I just think that some heavyweight in that forward line might not really allow her to start properly. But she's going to be a regular player that comes in regularly. In my own opinion, I just think that there's some players that are really heavyweights there. I know that I wanted you to pick out the player, but you didn't pick out the player, but that is fine. I wanted to mention the current the current captain. To say something about that. But
you can talk if you want to. You can talk about her.
Yeah. No. It's just like she's a player that has served Nigeria from the 17 level, under 20. Now the senior team. She's paid her dues. This is now like a good audition for her. She's coming there as one of the star players now. It's like a proper handover, to her. Because we used to Oshoala, but now it's like this is our team now. So I like her personally. Fantastic player. I just think that this tournament he is going to be a tournament. But I just still think that Jennifer Echegini will be our joker. Right? She's going to be a tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
Victor's tournament was the AFCON. This is going to be our tournament. Like Victor tournament was the AFCON. Victor did what he could do, but this one would be Ajibade's tournament.
We hope that it's a tournament. If it's Ajibade's tournament, then it means that it just might be Nigeria's tournament. So I really hope that you're right. Okay, let's talk about some players that did not make this squad, because obviously people have certain people that they feel should have made it. I've seen some comments about Gift Monday. She's an alternate. I've seen some comments about Rinsola Babajide. I'll go first. Personal opinion on this now. I'll start from Gift Monday. I know that Gift Monday, she's a daughter of the soil. FC Robo Queens. People love her. Nigerian fans love her. But I was not surprised to see her missing out on this team. When I did my predictions, I think I also left her out. I think I put her as an alternate, if I'm not mistaken. And it's because I feel like that is where she ranks when you compare her to the forward options that we have. For better or for worse. It doesn't mean she's a bad player. It just means that we have some very good players. When I think about Gift Monday playing from the flanks, or maybe sometimes playing from the, as the striker, and then I compare her to an Ajibade, it's hard to say that she can get into the team ahead of Ajibade. But when I compare her to an Okoronkwo as a striker, I cannot say that she's a better striker than Okoronkwo. When I compare her to Asisat Oshoala, I cannot say she's a better striker than Oshoala. When I compare her to Uche Nakanu, I cannot say she's a better striker. Uche Nakanu is one of those players that tends to turn up for Nigeria when we need her to. She might be having Uche Nakanu might be having the worst game in her career, and then she will just score goal. She's that kind of player. Chinwendu Ihezuo, we've seen the quality that she brings into the team. We saw her in our recent matches in the qualifiers. She has that fire, she has that quality, and she can score a goal as well. She's also very good in the air. So I cannot say that Gift Monday will get into the team ahead of Ihezuo. And then Chinyere McLean's, that's the one that some people might say, oh yeah, she can get ahead of McLean's. But like I mentioned earlier, there are two completely different types of players. We know that in most teams, whether it's be club, whether it be country, coaches always like to have one striker that is different. That's the reason why a player like Onuachu tends to be in the Super Eagles squad a lot of the time when people don't even like him. Coaches like a striker that is different, and McLean brings that aerial threat, that strength that Gift Monday just does not have. So unfortunately, I think it was almost certain that she was going to miss out on the initial 18. And if anything calls for her to be called upon from the alternates, maybe she can get into the team. And then on Risola Babajide, I think it's almost the same thing. When you compare her to the options that we have in attack, some of the options here, maybe the Pains, the Ajibades, they play in her same league. So you can even just compare them like for like and see how they performed in her league and see how she performed. It just does not stack up. Risola is a good player. She's tricky. She has pace from the left wing. She can score some fantastic goals every once in a while. But again, when I stack her up against the other forward options that we have, it is just hard to see how she makes it. Did I think she could be an alternate option? For sure, I thought she could be an alternate option. But I mean, the coach made a decision and he didn't put her there. I'm sure she must feel a little bit sad. But she's a young player that, I think would still be part of the Super Falcons setup for, I think foreseeable future. But Smith Layi, what are your thoughts on those two players who missed out, Gift Monday and Risola Babajide?
For Gift Monday, she's been part of Nigerian team now in two major tournaments. She was in the WAF, she went to the AFCON. She also went to the World Cup, and that was under Randy Wardrum too. Sometimes coaches look at this player at close quarters. They realize that it's like it's not being controversial now. I just think that she's okay with sitting on the bench in Super Falcons. Well, when she comes in, I don't see her pushing. Look at the World Cup too. She didn't have anything. At least you have to see someone that wants to be a starter. So, in my own personal opinion, I wasn't surprised that she wasn't part of the team that actually was selected. She's a talented player, but she needs to work harder so that she wants to make a statement that she wants to be part of this team. She wants to be a starter. Well, because I just see her as someone that when they celebrate goal, she will go and jump. Hey, go and meet them at the corners. That's what I see. I don't see her trying to push and actually be that main person there. She's so talented. I won't lie to you. She was scoring like no woman's business in the Nigerian league. Fantastic player. She's got good potential, but she just needs that extra hard work, so that she will be the main person. And also for Babajide, I saw her since her debut against Ethiopia in Addis Ababa in the Olympic qualifiers in the second round. She, that was not under the Wardrum. She came in.
Yeah.
And I was expecting a lot from her. I won't lie to you, for someone that went through the Liverpool Academy. But if you look at it now, it's like the Liverpool Academy was the eye. Since then she has been like going down and down slightly. So for me, I picked her to actually try and make it because of nationalized and everything. Maybe she can be considered. But for me, if she's been called up for all these games and she's not being used at all in even some of the easiest games, so how do you expect her to go? So in my own personal opinion, I just think that she needs to go and work hard too and make a statement that she wants to be part of this team, because I thought that she's going to be the person that's going to replace Francesca Odega, for Nigeria. But when I saw her too, it's like she's not ready yet, in my opinion. Sorry about that.
Yeah, people know that Smith Layi does not sugarcoat his words. He said she needs to go. He said Smith Layi said Gift Monday just likes to celebrate where somebody else scores a goal.
He jump.
But yeah, I also think that it's just tough for both players right now. But they will still be part of the squad for a little while. Okay, let's see what people are saying about this particular conversation. Arotolu Olusegun says, I would prefer Gift Monday to Oshoala. All due respect to her, but I would just allow her rest. Um, there's many things that I disagree with people on. This is one that I very 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 largely disagree with. I think Oshoala gets too much disrespect from Nigerian fans, and I
Mm-hmm.
know she has not been as prolific as we want her to be. She has not been as prolific as she used to be for
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, but she is still Asisat Oshoala. The
Mm-hmm.
quality that she has not just evaporated from her body. Yes, she has gotten older. Yes, she has dealt with some serious injuries in the
Mm-hmm.
past few years, but she still has quality. With all due respect to Gift Monday, the only thing that Gift Monday is better than Oshoala at is running, is pace. And unfortunately, that's not a skill that you learn. That is God given. Gift
Mm-hmm.
Monday is super fast. Oshoala is no longer as fast as she used to be. In every other attribute, shooting, finishing, passing, link up play, every other thing, Oshoala is a better player than Gift Monday. Gift Monday looks up to Oshoala and aspires to be half the player that Oshoala is one day. So when people say, "Oh, I would not take Oshoala Gift Monday," I laugh at it. I say no. Another thing that I always say, having a player like Oshoala on the field is like having let me know, I don't want to be blasphemous and mention any name that is too big, but it's having a player that you know is always going to put the fear of God into the opposition defenders. When they see Oshoala, they know that, see, if I slip off for 1 second, this girl can take advantage and score. If Oshoala is chasing behind the defender is going to be scared that I must get it right, because if she gets the ball, she can score. And when you have a player like that, it's like saying Osimhen is not informed, so you don't call Osimhen. You don't do that. I understand that she has not been at her best for Nigeria, but she is still Asisat Oshoala. She still scores important goals for us. She's still the one that scored an important goal at the World Cup that helped us to secure our place in the knockout one against Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, as far as Oshoala is fit, I would call her. What do you think about that, Smith?
For me, you cannot. She's super Z. Come on, like it's like you mentioned Chinwendu just now that she might be having a bad game. Anything, there could just be any ricochet in the box. Pam! It's inside the net. Like against Australia, remember, people are blaming her. Hey, people are ready to come out and analyze during halftime and blast her. But look at what she did. Everybody just kept quiet before the halftime against Australia. I'm just saying that the same thing to Australia. See, Australia being in that team is like fear to opposition. Forget say he played in Spain, he played in Spain and everything. I think she's someone that if we have her there, she's going to take one defender out, and that is one thing. So she might not be a starter, she might be coming in, but I can tell you that Oshoala is like the most intelligent forward we have.
Hmm. Okay. I have a comment from Femi Mike. He says Randy is the coach for the job. I see that Nigerians now have faith in Randy Wardrum, even though this is a manager that they dragged. Nigerian fans dragged him for a long time, but now people are having that faith and having that belief. Abdul Jalil, thank you. Says you guys are doing a great job. Thank you. We appreciate it. Nnameka, shout out to Nnameka. I remember you from our last show. He says I would have preferred the coach to include Babajide. Chinwendu would likely start the first match. I also have a comment here from Adigbola. He says Esther Okoronkwo is a quality striker. If I have my way, I will pick Esther to start from Nigeria at the Olympic. I remember Esther against Cameroon in Abuja. Lovely striker. Victor. Victor says, I would prefer Rinsola over Gift on an alternate list any day. She's tactically and technically more disciplined than Gift and brings more options to the team. Victor, I would actually agree with you. I would have gone with Rinsola over Gift on the alternate list as well. I honestly would agree with you. Somebody here that has a different opinion, Akimbode Folusho, Gift Monday should be given a chance. This is Olympics. Is it Olympics that you used to give somebody chance? or is it friendly? Or is it friendly match? I don't know. But we have to see, Sha. Um, Somebody Ofana says we dragged Waldrum when he was working on the defense. Now he has gotten it. Okay. Um, Samuel Akpan says Jennifer Echegini plays like Alex Iwobi, skillful and effortless.
Mhm.
Okay.
Don't agree
See,
with that.
let me see comments on Instagram as well. Smith Layi Queen Hunt says Smith is correct, except for calling Gift Monday celebrator. Uh, Muyi King says, I think a flexible coach can start Oshoala on the right hand instead of striker. She can assist or square ball from there. I'll take that opinion and I would say no. A few years ago, yes, but right now, no. You
Mm.
know, I spoke about earlier. Unfortunately, she has lost a little bit of that pep in her step. She's not as quick, she's not as fast as she used to be. So if you ask Oshoala to be running down that flank, coming, you'll just be working her too hard, and I feel like she will tire out early in the game, and she might not be as effective. We have players like Tony Payne that, if need be, can play there. Uchenna Kanu too can play there. Ajibade can play left or right, even though she prefers the left. You know, Echegini too, if you need her to be, can also play on that right hand side. She played there a few times for Juventus. So I wouldn't play Oshoala on the right. You know, is a very tricky one for me. It will all depend on the, I guess, the tactics and what the coach is trying to do exactly. But yeah, let me see. Somebody says Muyi King says Oshoala shouldn't be starting though, but they can try her on the right in friendly against Canada. You know, I would say I understand if you say Oshoala shouldn't be starting. You know, I even mentioned it earlier that I think Okoronkwo might be the starter, so I can understand that Oshoala may be a good player to bring on in the second half. You know, while the opposition is tired already, their defenders are tired, they're leggy. You know, when you get physically tired, you also get mentally tired. And that's the reason why she might be able to really take advantage of any lapses in defense and punish opposition. So I think I could agree with Muyi King on that one. Let me see. Um, let me see. Is there any other thing? Said no. Felix says no disrespect. Asisat is a 75 minutes player. I don't think she should be a starter. She will be far more deadly as a substitute. So yeah, that's kind of what I was just talking about. You know, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. If she starts, I wouldn't complain. But if she's on the bench, and I also don't think I would be complaining. Smith, do you have anything to say about that? Or Oshoala starting or not starting?
For me, I don't think that she will start, but the coach, you never know what Randy will do. But I think it's going to be different personnel for different games.
Mm.
So I think you might maybe probably where you want to have like I just think I don't see her starting. I see her coming on. In those games. Yeah,
Mm.
maybe when the opposition actually was tired, I see her coming on in those games. I
Okay.
don't see her starting. Yes.
Okay, so I think we've run through our thoughts on the squad. Wow, time flies. We're already almost an hour into this. But so that's pretty much it. Somebody is asking, has Gift Monday improved? That she wasn't good at the WAFCON. I mean, I'll say she has improved, but she's not yet at the level of the other players that were called up. I'm sure even she knows. But hopefully she's able to turn up for us when we need her to. Okay, some comments on the coach Randy Waldrum. Somebody says is asking, okay, the person is asking, Big Sammy says, if Randy excels at the Olympics, should he be considered for Super Eagles job? That one is that one is a whole other conversation that if we get into, I don't know if we'll have the time for it. But if he excels at the Olympics, I would say no. You know why I would even say no? Why do we always look at the Super Eagles as more important than the Super Falcons? So if we happen to have a fantastic coach that is doing well for the Super Falcons, you now want to carry him and take him to Super Eagles so that Super Falcons will start to struggle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would say no. If he does well, let him keep coaching the girls, let them keep getting better. Why uproot and then the team now starts to struggle? They are not more important. Over that, Super Eagles are not more important than Super Falcons. They are the same level, national teams of the country. Okay, Smith, let's talk about Halimatu Ayinde now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she's going to miss out on the tournament. And we have 4 alternates. I don't know how it works. Maybe I don't know if because the tournament has not started, if they call somebody from alternates into the team, can they add another alternate? I don't know how that works because tournament has not started. Do you know?
I don't think you can call someone after your alternate.
Because they've already submitted the list.
Yeah, you can
But
call
I'm
someone.
just thinking tournaments never start now. Olympics no features
No,
allow,
they've given them deadline. because
Yeah,
they have to provide everything now for them too. It's not as if you can just be. That means
true.
hey, some people can be playing games now. Yeah, we do switching and changes. They will have to make sure. That's why you have to list 4 alternates.
Yeah, okay, very true. Okay, so out of the four alternates, Jumoke Alani,
Mm-hmm.
Monrufa, Gift Monday, and Ifoma Onumono, who do you
Mm-hmm.
think should be selected to replace Halimatu Ainde?
One, Morufa is out of it. She's a goalkeeper
Yeah.
from River Queens. So she was the best goalkeeper in the NWFL. Very, very good reflexes. Fantastic goalkeeper. But she's not going to be there because it's not as if Tojuku or Chiamaka, God forbid, as was injured.
Yeah.
So I think it's now. I don't see him going for Jumoke Lani, and I have my reasons for that. Because one, Jumoke Lani will soon be going to the under 20 camp for
Mm,
the World Athletic Championship that will take place this year too in August.
mm,
So I think it's between Gift Monday and Ifoma Onumono. And I think that out of the three of them, out of the two of them, Ifoma Onumono can play the midfield. so so I think he's going for his daughter.
mm. Do you think he'll go with Ifoma Onumono?
Yeah, I think so.
For me, I think I honestly I cannot predict who Randy is going to choose. That's the honest truth. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe he should call Jumoke Alani. Honestly. Not because I think she is so fantastic, but because
Mm-hmm.
she's a defender. I know that Ainde is a midfielder, so it's not a like for like swap. But
Mm-hmm.
he might have had plans of Ucheibe
Mm-hmm.
being a part-time defender at the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He might have had
Mm-hmm.
plans.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Ainde is missing,
Mm-hmm.
there might not be room for Ucheibe to play in defense again part-time because we will need her in that midfield now that Ainde is
Mm-hmm.
not there.
Mm-hmm.
So Alani will be that defensive option that Christie was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm thinking of it. Because if he calls Gift Monday, that's attack. Where
Mm-hmm.
you're just adding one attacker where we did not need before. If you call Onumonu is another
Mm-hmm.
attacker. I understand what you're saying about Onumonu can help the team in midfield, but she's not a midfielder. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, she's not a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would go with Jumoke Alani. Let her be another defensive option so that Christy can really hold that midfield. Christy and Deborah Abiodun can hold that midfield, and so that we can be solid. Because it's painful because you know that Christy and Ainde in midfield together. Who wants to pass that midfield? Who
Mm-hmm.
wants to pass that midfield? We saw the
Mm-hmm.
work Ainde did against Rhys James, against Lauren James. After
Mm-hmm.
all the hype, Lauren James, she frustrated and marked her out of that game till she
Mm-hmm.
went to go and step on somebody's yash.
Mm-hmm.
So so I would have loved to see it, but now that Ainde is missing, I believe that Abiodun and Christine that midfield still gives us quality.
Mm-hmm.
So let Alani step in, and Christy doesn't have to go and play defense because other than that, the only two center backs that we have are Ohale and Tosin Dimeng.
Right. Well, let me just like say from something about. I mean, because the issue is this. I know you Magalani, but I don't know how she got into that alternate list. Did you respect Fanta? Because I don't know because I know her very well. I know how she actually was plays. She's the captain of the under 20, but she's Super Falcons. In fact, out of those in that under 20 self, she's not even the best defender. It's Shukura Tadadapo. That's the
Mm,
best defender in that team. She's not even the best. So because it's like I don't think she will even want to go for the one because she will only play right back. Her right back is not the attack. She doesn't attack.
mm,
She's that right back. I don't know, maybe there was a player there in Nigeria 20 years back. They called that player Akim Latifu. That type of player. He doesn't attack. He will just go back. Not the attack. And
defense.
she struggles to keep offside trap.
Mm,
Yes. If you watch her very well during the All African games, she struggled to keep offside trap. She's not, in my opinion, I don't know how she got in there, but I just think that if they call her up, she will not play.
mm, mm.
So why can't you
Okay.
just call somebody that will play?
Okay. But how are we sure that that person will play if the person was not in the plans in the first place? We cannot be
But
sure.
I still think that that play that Tony Payne is playing,
Mm,
they can bring in informal Numono there
mm.
and take actually to go and play right back.
Right back.
Yes.
But Alozie is right back now.
No, in case they have to push, in
Okay, in
case
case
there's
they have to push.
anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
That's it.
mm. And I mean, to be fair, we also should remember that Okeke can also play center back. So if need be, maybe Okeke can play center back and Payne can play left back. Alozie play right back. Like you said, if push comes to shove, we saw him put Tony Payne right back at was it the WAFCON? I think he put Tony Payne
Mm-hmm.
as the right back. So you know, Randy Wardrum knows how to mix things up a little bit. So we can expect anything from him. Let me quickly go to the comments and see what
But take the super chat first. To super chat.
yeah. Okay. Yes. Let me respect our gifters. Thank you for the
Yeah.
super chat. I see Chris Cars CC Gogo says it's going to be a big miss. I feel we have too many strikers. Talking about the miss of Halimatu Ayinde.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Cars, thank you for that comment. Ayinde is for sure going to be a big miss. That first part, everybody I think agrees with it. Do we
Mm-hmm.
have too many strikers? You
I
know,
think so.
eh, I guess strikers we have Okoronkwo, Oshoala, Kanu, Ihezuo, McLean's.
Mm-hmm.
Them plenty, sha.
Definitely.
Them plenty. It's only one striker that is going to play for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But Kanu, I think he uses Kanu most times as a winger. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can remove Kanu and say it's Okoronkwo, Oshoala, Ihezuo, and McLean's. It's still four strikers. It's still a lot.
Four.
It's still a lot. If you should now
Mm-hmm.
bring Onumonu inside, another striker, you know. But yes, we have to wait and see what Randy decides to do. I
Mm-hmm.
think right now I kind of just want to give Randy the benefit of the doubt that he knows what he's doing. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to trust him. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for the super chat, Chris Cars. Everybody else that's on YouTube, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video as well. And if you are feeling generous, you can also leave us a super chat. Shout out to Chris Cars. We appreciate it. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for supporting. Okay, let me see what other comments are there. Okobia Ifeanyi says, I think Oshoala will start against Spain. I mean, she knows the Spanish players well. She played against a lot of them. She played with a lot of them at Barcelona as well. Maybe she can give us the secrets to stop all these Alexis Putea, Alexa Puteas, and all these players. A lot of them are her teammates, former teammates rather. So hopefully, she can do something against them. We also have Adeotun. Miss Adeotun says Comfort Oyinlola and Shukrat Oladapo are good
Yes.
in the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they were not selected. So, maybe the coach just did not really want them. Okobi Ifeanyi also says we'll miss Ayinde. Yes, we will. Femi Mike says Super Eagles do not deserve the coach. Talking about Randy Wardrobe, says
Yes.
Super Eagles no defend our beg. Let him do what he's doing. He said Randy is wise gone, too tactical. He can do anything with tactics. High praise for Randy Wardrobe. And we also have some comments on Instagram. Quihon says it's painful and they will be missing in action. But Peace F can't wear those shoes. Besides, Okobi seems to have issues with the NFF. I wish Imura can come in. At this point, almost everything you said in that your comments is just things that honestly cannot happen anymore because those players are not on the alternate list. Peace Effie is not there, so she can't be there. Even though you say she can't lace the shoes, Okobi has not been part of the team for some time, so we were not really expecting to see her. In fact, Okobi has not even played football in like a whole year, so we're not really expecting to see her there. And he says he wishes Imura can come in. But I think the reason why the coach didn't really go with Rafiat is because she plays as a forward for her club. We're already saying we have too many forwards, and the times that she has played left back for Nigeria, honestly, she has been less than stellar, when she played as left back. Felix says, I think a like for like replacement should come in for Alimatu. Unfortunately, amongst the alternates, there is no like for like replacement.
Mm-hmm.
He says the midfield will not be very strong if you put Payne or Echegini as double pivot with Christie. I think it will be Christie and Abiodun and then somebody in front of them, maybe Payne, maybe Echegini, but I think it will be Christie and Abiodun.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Mui King says Okeke might be pushed to DM if need be. Smith, what do you think about that? Okeke
Yeah,
DM?
yeah. She can play that one. She can play left back, right back, center back. That's why I said that coming to these Olympic Games, you must be versatile. You must be able to play multiple positions, and she can do that.
Okay. Let me see. We have some more comments. Somebody's asking about Risola. We already spoke about her. Somebody's agreeing with you saying Alani is not a top player even from under 20.
Yes.
Alani Olu Olatunji says Alani isn't matured yet for the Super Falcons.
No, no.
Call me Tejiri says we no get enough left back. Says we don't have enough left back. But I think we have Okeke that can play left back. We have Payne that can play left back. So two left backs I think is enough really
Mm-hmm.
for the amount of players
Mm-hmm.
options that we have. Henry says with Ainde missing, I now have my doubts about if we can really play teams like Spain because she offers the midfield a lot. She definitely offers the midfield a lot. For me, I don't think it's making me doubt more. I already thought Spain was going to be very difficult, even if she was there. I think it's going to be still very difficult if she's not there. Of course, she's a miss, but anyways, it was always going to be a difficult one for us. Um, let me see what else we are saying in the comment. A lot of people are just agreeing that Ainde is a big miss. A lot of people are agreeing. Um, Big Sammy is still asking this question about if Randy excels, should he be considered for the Super Eagles job? I already answered that. I don't think so because I do not think that the Super Eagles are more important than the Super Falcons. Why should we take a coach that is doing well for the Super Falcons and take him to the Super Eagles? What then becomes of the Super Falcons? Are we saying that it's okay for them to struggle if the Super Eagles are doing well? Are we saying it's okay for them to have a bad coach as long as the Super Eagles have a good coach? So I would disagree with that. If Randy does well, what they should do is they should even increase the salary, not that they should take him to the Super Eagles. Okay. Let me see. Nelson Ehanacho says Japan are very fast. We need players that can run. Oh, they have pace. Yes, those Japanese players. Not only are they very fast, they are so coordinated. They are so organized.
Mm-hmm.
They work like a single unit. They work like one, and we are going to have to be on our A game against Japan. We are going to have to be on our A game. That one I know for sure. And
Well,
they're also a team that always competes at these tournaments, at the World Cup. They compete with the likes of the USA's and co. So it won't be easy. You wanted to say something, Smith?
yeah, yeah. I just think that if you keep them out for a few minutes, they're going to get frustrated. There's also some spaces too that they can actually we can actually hurt them a lot. In my own opinion, I think that we need to bully them.
Show them that. I mean, they. We. I'm not just being stereotypical right now, but we know that the Japanese players they're not the most physically imposing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are short. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them are small in stature. So
Mm-hmm.
if our players just give them some roughing up,
Mm-hmm.
they will learn and they will
They
learn the
will
hard
learn.
way.
In that way, yeah.
Okay, so let's now go into talk about our chances. Spain ranked number one according to FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
Japan ranked number seven according to FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil ranked number nine according to FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria ranked number 36
Mm-hmm.
according to FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
Smilai, is there any chance? Is there any hope? What can the Super Falcons do at these Olympics?
One, if the first thing is that we need to beat Brazil. If we beat Brazil, we're already in the quarterfinals because I think that this Olympics there's going to be third best placed team,
Two third place teams.
two third best placed. So in that, if you win your first game, you are almost in the quarterfinals. So
Hmm.
now, if you look at the three teams that are there, if you see the person that who can give a quick knock in the head, it's Brazil. It's Brazil, honestly. So that is why that first game is very important. Canada, Australia, and Ireland, they were also saying that group of death too. But we knew how we neutralized them
Hmm.
in the World Cup. So in my opinion, I just think that that first game is very important. If we can win the first game very well, we will look for a way to get 1 point more. That
Hmm.
first game itself can make Spain very scared. But I won't lie to you, we must not lose against Brazil.
Hmm. Okay, so Smilai, assuming we beat Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
we get those 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
how far can we go? How far can they go if they
When it
reach the
gets
knockouts?
in my last World Cup, if not because of what happened in the penalties and everything, I saw the Falcons, reaching the semifinals of the last World Cup. And this time around, it's now slightly a different ball game for them. I think that the experience of the last World Cup, most of the players, I think like 90% of them are going to go to this World Cup. So I think they have that experience of the last World Cup that, okay, come on. Most of them, last World Cup was their major for first World Cup, major tournament. So I think that they are more experienced now. And don't forget that Echegini was a college girl in that World Cup. Now she's a pro, in Europe.
Yeah.
So the Copain now a pro too. I just think that she wasn't the Copain wasn't at the last World Cup. So I just think that this experience is going to be beneficial. I see them in the podium. See them in the
Okay.
podium. On the
So
podium. I don't know the final. No come and drag me here. In the podium. Yes.
I will say honestly, I hold the same sentiment. Brazil, they're the ones that first game, even if it's 1-0, even if it's in fact 0.10, we just have to secure 3 points against Brazil. Obviously, if you lose that first game, it puts so much pressure on you going to face Japan and Spain. So I think we need to beat Brazil in that first game, secure those 3 points, and a good opportunity to reach the knockout round. I personally think that these Super Falcons have a quality chance of coming home with a bronze medal. That's honestly my own prediction. I think a bronze medal is not far-fetched. They can. I want them to go for gold. Don't get me wrong. They should go for gold. But I think that, even if things don't go our way entirely in the tournament, a bronze medal is not out of reach at all. Like you said, it's all about reaching the knockout round. Let's even say we finish third in our group. If we finish third in our group, we will play against the winner of Group A. Group A has Canada, Colombia, France, and New Zealand. You would want to imagine that either France or Canada would win Group A. Maybe France, but either France or Canada, you would think will win Group A. If it's Canada, those ones are Canada and our customer now. If it's Canada, we know that we have shown them that we can compete against them. So I'm sure that if it's Canada, the girls will have no fear to play against Canada. France, they might be a little bit hesitant because we haven't faced them recently. The last
Home
time
nation.
we faced, home nation, so they have the fans. Last time we faced them at the World Cup in 2019, they beat us. Controversial penalty, that Chiamaka penalty issue that happened that time. So maybe France, the girls might fear small, but Canada, I know they will have confidence. But that's if we even finish third. But if we finish third and we beat any of those teams, we're in the semifinals. From there, even if you lose semifinal, you play bronze medal match. If you win, you play the gold medal match. Let's say we finish second in our group. Let's say we finish second. We will play against the winner of Group B. If we finish second in our group. Group B has USA, Australia, Germany, and what's the other African team that is there? Sorry. I think it is
Zambia.
Zambia. Yes, Zambia. So if we play against the winner of that group, you want to imagine that USA will win that group. So maybe it's even better for us to finish third than to finish second. Maybe we not go jam USA for quarter final because USA, even though the USA underperformed at the last World Cup, we have to say so, but it's still the USA at the end of the day. They are a world power. We know what they do in women's football. They are now under the tutelage of Emma Hayes, the former Chelsea manager. She's bringing a new style, a new system. After the last World Cup, America in the country, they felt like it was the biggest failure ever. So they are revamping their system. They have a lot of quality young players now. I watch the NWSL often. They have quality players that can dribble, that can shoot, in their team. So I'm a little bit worrisome of the USA. So maybe it's even better to finish third than to finish second. You want to say something?
Don't worry. Nico Payne will undo Sophia Smith. They're from the same team,
yeah,
they're from the same team,
and if we happen to win our group, let's say we win our group, we'll play against the third place team from Group B. So again, like I said, Group B has USA, Germany, Australia, and Zambia. So who can finish third in that group? Maybe Germany, maybe Australia. If now Australia, we don't flog now for World Cup now on your own home ground. So I'm sure that the girls will not fear Australia. If Germany should finish third, Germany is a good team, but we can
No,
take Germany.
I think I'll prefer Germany out of the of them. But you
I
mentioned
prefer
sorry,
I prefer Zambia.
no, Zambia will finish last.
I know. I'm
Zambia will
just
finish last.
saying, if Zambia want to
The
finish third, we can play them. Yeah,
the
so you
what
want to
you
say
mentioned one group about Colombia, France, and I don't know which group was that. Colombia, France, and
group A.
Group A. That group, don't be surprised to see Colombia first.
Linda
That
Caicedo, you believe in her?
I think it's just a typical. I think France is going to be a failure again.
Okay.
And it's going to be another disappointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For our audience, our chats, please. Now that you've heard about the other groups, you've heard about our group. 2 questions for the chats. One, where do you think the Super Falcons will finish in our group? Brazil, Spain, Japan, Nigeria. Where do you think the Super Falcons will finish? And who do you want us to face in the next round? So where do you think we'll finish, and who do you want us to face in the next round? Let us know your opinions in the comments very, very quickly. Okay, while I'm waiting for you guys to respond to that question, let me just go back to some previous comments that you made while we're talking. Somebody says Japan works like a programmed machine. Yeah, they work like a single unit. Felix says they are very technical. Somebody says Brazil is a winnable game. Our strikers must take advantage even at the slightest chance. I agree completely. They should play that game without fear. Ajibade can take on any defender that she wants. Kanu can take on any defender that she wants. They should play without fear. Obviously, be cautious, be disciplined, but that Brazil is a very winnable game. I agree with everybody that thinks that. Let me see. Bomo said, jam them 2 or 3 times, then go behave. Talking about the Japanese players. Yes, jam them 2 or 3 times, then go behave. Moses says, Japan are fast but not strong. Super Falcons will edge them and qualify without losing a game. Please mark this comment. Moses says, Super Falcons will qualify without losing a game. That we should mark his words. So, Moses, I love your optimism. I really, really, really hope that what you say is true. I really, really hope that what you say is true. Let's see how it goes. Let me see what other comments we have on Instagram before I go to the other platforms. Somebody says, I don't know why we are ranked 36 after the last World Cup. I mean, the ranking, you don't just fly up the rankings like that unless you win big matches. And as impressive as we were at the World Cup, remember, we drew against Canada, we drew against Ireland, we lost against England. Or let's say we drew against England. So even though we did well, technically we were not winning games that were going to secure us a lot of points. So we won't just fly up the ranking. And then after that, we played against South Africa, we won 1-1-0, we drew 1, so it's not like our results have been so impressive or crazy impressive like that, even though we are doing well. And the ranking system is all based on points, so that's why sometimes the ranking is not always a perfect reflection of who is good. Because, for example, if a team like maybe Cape Verde now, for example, if they just get 20 world-class players, they are not just going to fly from whatever ranking they are now and just become one of the best. They have to play matches, keep winning before they rise. That's the way the ranking works. Okay, so Henry says Brazil is a draw, Japan is a win or draw or loss. Those are the only 3 options now. He said Brazil is a draw, Japan is a win or draw or loss, and Spain is a win for me. Henry says we will beat Spain. If we beat Spain, I will be so delighted. Honestly, I will be so delighted. Mui King says Colombia can shock them in Group A. Prince Nasiruddin says, I don't carry Toby Amuso and Super Falcons gold for the Olympics already. Okay, amazing. Africa Jaguar says, are the calculators out yet? Our tournament never starts now, but we don't look at permutation and combination small. Okay, let me see. Okay, Abe Monaco says, most likely we can finish second or third. Oreoluwa Oluwasegun says second and for us to face Australia. Okay. Bright says better to finish third and meet France. Okay. Muyi King says Super Falcon finishes as number 1 to face Australia. Super Falcons fan page says AyoT, if we play our game real good, we can be second in our group. Oh, our players are very solid now with a lot of experience. The Spain match is the main challenge that I see in that group. And then Big Sammy says the Super Falcons preparation has been lackluster, especially with other teams having come at red for months. Let's hope we can avoid humiliation in Paris. Big Sammy is the only person here that is a bit pessimistic, but everybody has their own feelings and opinion, and everybody's feeling is very valid. Okay, on YouTube, Adebola says our chances at the Olympic, I think we'll get a good result against Brazil. I think we will qualify for the quarterfinal. Simple as A, B, C. Okay, I like that. Nelson says our defense is very solid. I fear we will win against Spain and Brazil because Spain will be fully focused on Japan. They want to revenge their loss at the World Cup. So Nelson is talking about the game within the game. That Spain will want to avenge their loss, so they might not be too focused or prepared for Nigeria, and then we can take advantage of that. Okay. Adedotun says Falcons will qualify from the group and will get to the semi-final. So we're going to play for a medal. That's what Adedotun is saying. Because once you get to the semi-final, you are playing for a medal. Let me see. Steve Onoli says the girls they come home after first round. Steve Onoli does not believe. He says the girls will come home after the first round. I mean, I'm sure we all hope that you are wrong, Steve. Femi Mikes says we might finish with 7 points along Spain. So goal difference will determine where we finish, the winner of that group. 7 points, that's 2 wins and a draw. So Femi is really, really optimistic and believes in the girls. Okay. Samuel Akpan says Ainde will be a big miss, no doubt. But let's not forget, Nigeria missed Boniface at the AFCON, yet played up to the final. So, Samuel, I think, are you saying that we can get to the final? Felix Peters says Nigeria will beat Spain. Mark this down. I love it. I love it. We have some very confident predictions over here. Victor Kobam, I believe Nigeria will finish third, and I would love us to play Canada. I also think the Brazilian team isn't what it used to be. This was evident at the last World Cup where Jamaica ran them ragged. Nigeria can clip them. Okay. Okay, guys, it is almost time for you to join and share your thoughts. It is almost time for you to join and share your thoughts. So please, if you want to come on and talk, just make sure that you have your camera on so that we can see your face, and we obviously need to be able to hear you as well. But make sure your camera is on. We need to see your face when you're coming to speak. So yes, please get ready. The link will be posted on all platforms very, very soon. Smith Layi, okay, let's just transition out of the Olympics. Oh no, before we transition out of the Olympics, let us predict or let us say our preferred starting 11.
Before we go there, I just want to mention something that Nigeria game against Brazil. In that game, Brazil is overwhelming favorite according to
the
different betting platforms. It's actually what overwhelming favorite for that game, but they don't know what they will see. They will learn in a very hard way.
Okay. Smith Layi, okay, starting 11 for your preferred starting 11 for this tournament. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
Go first.
Okay, I should go first. In goal, Tochukwu, I'm joking. In goal, Chiamaka, Nnadozie. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, Chiamaka, Nnadozie. I'm going to go with a 4-3-3 formation. 4-3-3 formation. So 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. Defenders from the left back, I'm going to play Chidima Okeke. Center backs, Ohale and the main. Right back, Michel Alozie. In midfield, unfortunately, Ainde is missing. So midfield, I'm going to go with Christy Uchebe, Deborah Abiodun, and Jennifer Echegini. That's my midfield. And then in attack, on the left, Rashida Ajibade. On the right, I'm going to go with Uche Nakanu. And then my number 9, my starting striker, I'm going to go with Esther Okoronkwo. So I'm going to leave Asisat on the bench. All due respect to her, but I think I prefer Okoronkwo. Maybe in a different match, Oshoala can start, but I think the first game I'll start Okoronkwo. And then Ihezuo, I like the work Ihezuo does pressing. So Ihezuo might be a good player for a Spain where they will be trying to pass the ball around, and maybe she can press win a ball in a good position for us. But that is my own starting 11. Smith Layi, how about yours?
So I think I'm going to have a similar starting 11. I think I will go with Chiamaka and Nnadozie in goal. I'm going to play a 4-3-3 formation. I don't think that's what's going to play. I think in this tournament against Spain, you might be playing a 5-4-1 against Spain. But I think against Brazil, it will be smelling rats too. He want to go for it. So it's going to be a 4-3-3 formation. I think he's going to be tossing the main and Osinachi Ohale central defense. I think Alozie, Michelle will actually will be on the right. Now I think Nico Payne is going to be on the left. I just think that Payne is going to be on the left. I think in the midfield trial will be Nico Payne, Tony Payne, Christy Shebe, and also the Abiodun. I just think they needed someone that can give the final pass, in that midfield. And Nico, what's it called? Tony Payne, she's very good at that. She can give that turn.
5 chances created against England.
Yes, can you see? So she's someone that can create opportunities. But my friend, Jennifer, she will drive with the ball. That's why. So I expect her to start, but not in that position to start on the right. Ajibade on the left, and I'm gonna go for Chinwendu Ihezuo to the top line. I just like to say like a nuisance in defense. She can just trouble you and everything. You need someone to what I say about the Brazilians is that they don't have legs in the back. You need someone that can trouble them.
Okay. Let me see what people are predicting in the chat very quickly, and then we'll transition to the Super Eagles. I think I see Muyi King says Nnadozie, Alozie, Ohale, Dimen, Okeke, Abiodun, Uchebe, Echegini, Ajibade, Kanu, Ihezuo. So Muyi King is also going with Ihezuo. Is going with Okeke and Echegini as well. Let me see. Okay, we don't have that many other predictions. So yes, we wish the Super Falcons all the best. Of course, guys, we would, record before every match. We would break down each match as it comes. The first game is 21 days away on the 25th of July against Brazil. We'll of course talk about each match, day. And then I think I'm going to also be doing my live reactions, during the match, as long as everything works out. I think we'll be doing that as well. Okay. Super Eagles. The Super Eagles have learnt their opposition in our bid to qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. The draws were held today, and we've been drawn into Group D with some familiar names: Benin Republic, Libya, and Rwanda. We are going to take this topic very quickly so that we can give you guys a chance to come on. But Smith Layi, what was your first reaction to the draws for this AFCON 25 qualifiers?
In fact, I watched the draws live. I was in a meeting, but I was monitoring the draw live. So when I saw the Benin Republic and Rwanda, they did pot 4 first, pot 3, pot 2. When I saw Benin Republic and Rwanda, the two wives are here, the husband is coming. So when so I know Nigeria is going to be in that group. But I can tell you that I'm pleased to place, and I'm happy that we are playing against Rwanda twice before we go to the Amaro Stadium in March. So at least we know what to expect. We know exactly what to expect when we go there in March. So which I'm actually really happy about. They're gonna throw again. I don't know. Maybe he really wants the Super Eagles job. Okay, make it come beat us so that we can give him Super Eagles job. But in my own opinion, I think it's not a bad draw. But I can tell you that if we play the way we play against Africa and against Benin Republic, we will not qualify for the AFCON.
Okay. I was on Channels Television earlier today talking about these draws, and Austin Okoronkwo said some years ago we will not even be discussing this group. It will just be a formality that Nigeria will qualify. We won't even be discussing it. But because of how things have been going for us, we have to discuss it, and we have to actually point things out. Benin Republic, those ones, they don't want to leave us alone. they have Nigerian born players in their team. They have players of Nigerian descent in their team. They have the former Super Eagles coach. The
Mhm.
last coach to qualify Nigeria for a World Cup is the current coach of Benin Republic.
Hmm.
To make things worse, the last time that we watched our dear Super Eagles play, they lost to Benin Republic.
Hmm.
So ordinarily, maybe Benin Republic was a country that fans will say, "Oh, we go flog them," but we've seen clearly that if we don't take our game seriously, they can flog us or they can beat us. So we
Mhm.
cannot take Benin Republic for granted. Rwanda, we haven't faced them in the World qualifiers yet, but as things stand, they are currently ahead of us in the table. So we also cannot take them for granted because if we do, they can punish us. And then Libya, people will say, then they play ball for Libya. I'm sure some people will be wondering, of course, we're going to flog Libya. Now, I'm not saying Libya is a strong team. I'm not saying they are a big team or anything like that. But in their last 10 matches, they have only lost one game. Now, they are playing against teams like Eswatini. Yes, they are playing against teams like Burkina Faso. You might want to say, oh, Burkina
Against
Faso and
Cameroon.
against Cameroon. You might want to say that they are not Nigerian level. But they are performing well. The only game they've lost in the last 10 was 1-0 against Cape Verde. So based on form, they're a team that you still have to somewhat, pay attention to and just know that if you don't play well, maybe these guys can punish. We hope not. But yes, if I still had to predict, I will say, of course, the Super Eagles will qualify for the AFCON. I mean, the top two teams are going to qualify, so it's not even like you have to finish first. 2 out of 4. If we don't qualify, it would be a big shame. In the chat, let us know what you guys think. Where do you think the Super Eagles will finish in this AFCON qualifying group? But yes, where do you guys think we will finish in this AFCON qualifying group? I would like to hear your thoughts. But while we're waiting for people to give us their thoughts, Smith, I have a question for you. If the Super Eagles don't qualify for the AFCON,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
the Super Eagles don't qualify for the World Cup,
Mhm.
which one is more embarrassing?
See, there's no if Nigeria is not qualified for the AFCON and go to the World Cup, Nigeria Nigerians will forgive Super Eagles.
Hmm.
But I can tell you something. If Nigeria fail to qualify for AFCON, we are not going to the World Cup. It's going to bring it together. We can still go to the AFCON, not go to the World Cup. But with the way it is now, if we cannot qualify, that means that we are having like 5 points. Maybe we have just been beaten by Libya in a war-torn Tripoli. We have just been embarrassed in Cotonou, and we have been disgraced in Kigali, and we are drawing against Rwanda in Uyo. These are the results that can take us out of that AFCON.
Hmm.
And the problem with this AFCON group now is this: all of them now, they have stadiums that they are going to play. They're not going to play away from home. But the Republic stadium is almost ready.
Hmm.
They will to host Nigeria properly at home. Rwanda stadium is ready. So it's not as if they're going to play away from home. They have home stadium. Libya too, they will go and play us on AstroTurf pitch, on their Astro pitch that they have. So this group is more tricky than we are just looking at it.
Hmm.
That's why I want the new coach to come in and hit the ground running. The way it is, I'm hearing rumors that our first game might be against the Benin Republic in Uyo. If we start with a lose or a draw in that game, I beg, if you sack that coach. So, in fact, you see, it's by this, we should see any lose or draw now, you fire the coach. You see, make everything just go like that. But for me, I just think that this draw is more very, very tricky. When I
No,
think
but
that
you did not answer my question, so I'm going to ask you again. Between if we don't qualify for World Cup or we don't qualify for AFCON, which one is more embarrassing?
I think AFCON is more embarrassing. Because if 24 teams in Africa is going to an AFCON and Nigeria is not there, ah, eh? And the 24 teams is going to the AFCON, and you are looking at teams like Lesotho, CAR going to AFCON, and Super Eagles of Nigeria is not there. That means that we need to go and look for something to do and not play
Hmm.
football.
Okay. I asked people to make prediction. Muyi King said, "Abego, we know they predict anything for Super Eagles." Oh God, people don't have confidence in Super Eagles anymore. Um, Big Sammy says, "Group of death due to Finidi doings." Then shall one make Rob beat us to stupor. Paulo says Nigeria cannot afford to draw that first match. Whoever that first match is, we cannot afford to draw. Ololatunji says AFCON is more embarrassing, in my opinion. Um, on Facebook, Adegbola Temitope says, for me, concerning the Super Eagles, I believe if we do our mobile, I'm not sure what you mean by mobile, very well, Super Eagles will qualify with 2 games to go. Secondly, Benin Republic will lose to the Super Eagles home and away. The most important thing is that we get a new manager from the team. Okay. Victor Kubam says, I've lost faith in the current Super Eagles. Hence, I won't bet my money on them. With the way things are now, Benin Republic and Rwanda may show Nigeria the meaning of that expression, see finish. Libya is the team that we should really fear. That team showed Cameroon premium shege when both teams met in the ongoing 2026 World Cup qualifiers. And then on Twitter, formerly known, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Dayo Olabode says, Niger have to qualify for AFCON. Reason, we always have a comeback after a woeful performance. Okay. I think most people think that AFCON is more embarrassing if we do not qualify. I also think it's more embarrassing because how can Nigeria not go to an AFCON tournament? Um, but yes, we have to wait and see what happens. We have to wait and see what happens. And then I think Muyi King was asking when the AFCON qualifiers start. I match day one is from 2nd to 10th of December. Match days 1 and 2. September, not December, sorry. September, 2nd to 10th of September 2024. So that's when anytime within that period is when we'll play our first game. Now is your chance to call in, guys. Please, 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 if you'd like to join the show, just use the link. The link has been posted and pinned on Twitter, has been posted and pinned on Instagram, has been posted and pinned on YouTube as well. If you'd like to join the show, just click the link. Make sure you have a camera so that we can see your face and be ready to give us your opinions. We have about 20 minutes to take calls and then we wrap up for the evening. And if you're watching on YouTube, guys, please, please, please like the video. Please like the video. We have only 25 likes, and I know that we can do so much better. Please, guys, if you're on YouTube, like the video. It's free, completely free. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It is completely free to subscribe. And if you want to spend money, you can leave a super chat, and you know that one they'll take your money. But you choose how much they take. Okay, let me take calls now. I see we have 2 people waiting already. I will bring Miss Adedotun first, and then Felix, I will take you after. Anybody else that wants to join, please just click the link and join the queue, and I'll bring you on as soon as we can. We have over 230 people watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. Again, for another day, for another week, Twitter is our highest, has our highest viewership. 142 people on Twitter, on X right now. I appreciate all of you on that platform.
Shout them.
Okay, welcome to the show, Mr. Adedotun.
Mila, how you doing?
Yeah,
AyoT, the
thank
boxing promoter.
you.
Okay, Mr. Adedotun. So, what do you want to discuss? Super Falcons, Super Eagles. What was your point of
Let me
conversation
just
today?
say, let me start with Super Falcons. I think I don't really have any problem with the list. Just that I would have loved that girl Sola to be part of the team. But now that she's not there, she's still young, and we still have many competitions to play, so she can be part of the team. But now, Alimata Inde would be a great miss I'm sure if England is going to the Olympics, Laura James will be celebrating now that Chiamaka is missing the Olympics. But all things being equal, me, I will want Ronaldo to pick his daughter Onumonu, because that girl, she knows how to press, she knows how to help in the midfield. And since we are missing a midfielder, I think I will choose I'll proud Onumonu ahead of Alani or any other person. If Oshobukola, Oyilola or Oladipo were in the part of the the other guys, I think I would have picked one of them. But since they are not there, I'll go for Ifeoma Onumonu. That's that. Then
Okay.
on Super Eagles, the AFCON, I watched the draws live. I'm telling you, I'm scared. I am really scared. I'm scared of Benin and I'm scared of Rwanda, because these are the guys that we are still going to play in our World Cup qualifiers. I would have preferred to play other countries than these two people, because if we beat them at the AFCON qualifier, they want to block us when it comes to World Cup qualifiers. So I'm just scared. But on Falcons, I believe they will qualify from the group and they will get to the semi-finals of the Olympics. I believe in Falcons, but sorry, I don't believe in Super Eagles of Nigeria for now. Super Eagles has always been my first love, but I'm sorry, they really broke my heart. So I believe in Falcons. My Super Eagles, I'm just there. I'm just neutral. But it's being equal. I think Falcons will do well at the Olympics. But I wish Super Eagles well. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you a question before I let you go. So the question I asked him is like, between AFCON and World Cup, which one would be more embarrassing to you if we do not qualify?
That's AFCON. That'll be AFCON, because if you don't qualify for AFCON, we're like, so if you can't pass mock exam, if you can't pass WAEC, so you can't even pass mock. AFCON is like mock to us, while World Cup is WAEC. You are expected to pass your mock exams. So don't pass your mock exams, that is shame on you. These Super Eagles of Nigeria, one of the giants of African football. So if you cannot go to World Cup, like, okay, but we don't qualify for AFCONs, that means that means Super Eagles now is at the lowest. We're at our lowest. So we can't afford. No, AFCON will be more embarrassing if you don't qualify. That's just it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Adedotun. I'll take you out right now. Maybe we have a chance to bring you on. If you stay, we might be able to bring you on again, but I'll just take you out right now. It depends on how many callers we get. I'll welcome to the show Mr. Felix. Thank you for joining.
Good evening, Smith Layi. Good evening, everyone watching.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
What's on your mind today? What do you want to discuss?
Just the prevalent issues, the Super Falcons list, and the Super Eagles AFCON draw.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. I think the list is okay. The list is cool. At least this list, as in, Wadram is showing us something that is only picking players based on merit. Is picking players based on current performance in their club. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Many of us thought he would have picked Ifeoma, that Ifeoma is his closest person, but this just shows that he knows what he's doing. He picked the players who are in form. And Alimatu is going to be a big miss, as everybody has said in the comment section. She's definitely a big miss. Nothing comes so good as the midfield pivot of Uchebe and Alimatu. Is a very strong combination. So Uchebe Alimatu not being there, is a big problem. There is this kind of work she does on the midfield. She does a lot of dirty job, and she knows how to man mark players. She's good at, I know, technically. And do you know one thing good about Alimoto Aide is because she does those things without collecting so much cards. Her tackles are so clean. She doesn't commit so much infringement when she's doing those things. Well, but I believe Deborah Abiodun and Crystal Chebe will also do the job. But notwithstanding, she's a big mix. And as pertaining to Asisat Oshoala, as I said in the comment section, no disrespect, she's a big player, but I just think she's a player who should be introduced in the 75th minute of the game. I don't see her as a starter, not because it's body, she has depreciated a bit, that energy, that speed, but she's a dangerous striker. If she can be introduced in the 75th minute, it's
You are,
cool.
you are you are a bit harsh. Oh. You don't even say okay, make them bring them on for 60th minute. You say at
No,
75.
no, 5 minutes is good. She still has good 15 minutes. You see, like what we did against Australia, when she came into the game, you can see how the atmosphere was charged, how the vendors started getting scared. They were focusing so much on her. Even focusing so much on Oshoala draws a single defender away from you. So I think 75 minutes is not bad. Let the other girls do the job. The girls will have that energy to run into spaces. Asat Oshoala is good, but the way she has job, she doesn't give the midfielder so much option to pull the ball. She doesn't run into spaces like the way she used to do again. And if you have a striker who is not running into spaces, it will limit the way the midfielders, the way they play. So
Okay.
I think she should come in every 75 minutes. I think, and for Alimato, I think a defensive player. I don't know the people who is. I don't know the other players on the standby list. I think a defensive player should come in for her.
The
I
only
don't think
defensive player on the alternate list is Jumoke Alani.
if it is Jumoke and the other scholar, I don't think a striker should come in. I don't think Ifeoma or Gift Monday should come in as a replacement. I honestly think a defensive player should come in. Alimatu having injury has reduced the efficiency in that area, and it might cost us. So we should call somebody who is defensive minded, a defensive player. So that is all I want. That is all I want to say about the Falcons. I think the list is good. The list is perfect. It's a blend of youth and young talent, experience, and everything. So it's a good list. And for the Super Eagles, I don't even know what to say much, but we just have to qualify for the AFCON. It's an embarrassment if we don't qualify, but it's also an embarrassment if we don't qualify for the World Cup because we missed the previous one. So I just believe the new coach, by now we should even know the coach that will be coaching the Super Eagles, but unfortunately we don't know anything. And it's just so unfortunate that the Super Eagles are in big trouble with their qualification, and up to now we don't have a single coach. So it's so unfortunate. But as Smith Layi said, we can't afford to lose any game going forward. Not just the first game. We can't afford to lose any game going forward. The Super Eagles need to buy the out of Nigerians back. After the AFCON, I expected that
Felix. No, go on, go on.
after the AFCON, I expected that trajectory to go up. I expected the team to keep increasing, but it was just as if it went downward again. The love. People are already getting interested in football. Blogs were already showing players. During the AFCON brought this insight back to everybody, but after the AFCON, things just started dwindling down again. I think the players need to do well for themselves too, even aside from coaches, by trying to buy the love of the citizens back. They need to play. They need to start winning every game. I believe we can qualify for both competitions, and if we miss out on any, I think it's embarrassing. If you ask me to choose, I don't think I really have a choice because we failed to qualify for the last World Cup. If we fail to qualify for this, it's a big embarrassment. In fact, it's a shame. So that is my contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you for
Yeah.
your opinion. Nice
I,
to hear
I
from
just,
you.
yeah, I just want to
Smith,
try.
you want something?
I want
Okay,
to echo
go on.
what Felix said. That I was listening to one of Nigeria's big TV stations, today, that one sport analyst said that we don't need a coach now. There's no match to play. The game we're going to play is in 8 weeks' time, and that person came on national TV to say we don't need coach. There's no match where I play. Some people are just not even informed about all these things. 8 weeks. See, the next FIFA window is what? September 2 to 10. We have to play 2 games in that window. And he said there's no coach now, so we're not bothered.
Wow. Just so unfortunate. It's so pathetic.
It's so fortunate.
And do you know what, Eagle Striker? I think the federation what the Super Eagles need now is a coach with pedigree. A coach with pedigree. I think I was watching a documentary in a podcast recently. See, the national team, you just don't bring any coach because the coach is good. You always need a coach with pedigree. These guys, they've been coached by top coaches in their clubs. Now, coming to the national team and they just meet someone who is not tactical enough, who is not up there, there's this unconscious level of disrespect it brings. You can't actually blame people. It's psychology. So, if we want to qualify for the World Cup, we just need that coach with pedigree. The coach that Super Eagles is saying, this is our coach in the national team. Even the kind of coach you employ will make the boys want to come home to play. At times players play for glory, personal glory, and they play for the coach. If the coach is a coach with pedigree, why not? We can qualify for the World Cup. Just employ a good coach, not a cheap coach, though.
All right. Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you for sharing thoughts. I have to let you go now because of time, but it's always nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think we have one more person waiting to come on, but I don't know. Are you wearing a shirt? Please, if you want to come on, just make sure you have a shirt on. With all due respect, nobody wants to see anybody's parts. So please, if you want to come on, just make sure you have a shirt. If you want to come on, still the link is pinned on Instagram. The link is pinned on YouTube. It's also posted on X. I believe, did I post it on Facebook? If I didn't, forgive me. I've posted it on Facebook now as well. So yes, if you want to come on, we have a few minutes left. Just click the link. Make sure you have a camera. Make sure you have a shirt on, and we will bring you on. Smith Layi, while we are waiting for the next person, let me just quickly take some comments while we're waiting for the next caller. We've had a few comments on all social media platforms. Muyi King said, AFCON will be more embarrassing for us to miss out, but the World Cup will be more painful. I think that's a fair assessment. Mm-hmm. Daniel says, Asisat's form has really dropped to 75th minute is okay. Okay. Muyi King says, for me, we won't miss Ayinde that much because of Abiodun and Chebe will do the job well, but a backup would have been good. In my first wardrobe to start with 4-2-3-1 and end with 4-1-4-1 if we still need to score. KC says, not just getting a defensive minded player to replace Ayinde, but also one with good retention and distribution skills like Ayinde does. I understand what you're saying, KC, but unfortunately, we only have 4 options to choose from right now. So we cannot really go and look for those specific abilities at this moment. We only have 4 options to choose from. One of them is a goalkeeper. So really, we only have 3 options to choose from. On YouTube, we see, let me see. Bode Adetunji says, we need to have standard metrics to measure the performance, fitness, and work rate of Nigerian players before they are invited to the Super Eagles to play for Nigeria. I mean, I want to imagine that the coaches have metrics that they look at to say, hey, this guy is good, this guy is not good, this guy is doing well. Work rate, I might disagree with you a little bit on that work rate because, is people tend to look at certain players and think if you're not running helter-skelter on the field, sometimes people think you're not working or you're not trying. Whereas it's not every player on the field that is going to, that their role is to be a workhorse and to be running everywhere and do the job. I remember Mesut Ozil when he was playing for Real Madrid then, and he was playing for Arsenal. A lot of people used to accuse him of not working hard. But the guy was one of, if not at the time when he was in Madrid, the best number 10 in the world. But he was never a player that would run around. So our work rates word can be a little bit deceptive. But I agree that there needs to be a measure of performance, before you invite players. You want to say something, Smith?
Yeah, I think that I understand where he's coming from. That if you are not talented, and you're not hardworking, in Super Eagles. Because some people are, you said that that some people are very intelligent, more retention and everything. You have that. You might not be that running and everything, but if you're not doing those basic things, you're not running too. There's some players like that. So those type of players, because I won't lie to you, you need legs to play football.
Mm.
If you cannot run, they will run rings around you. They will threaten you. You need fit players to play African football, in my own opinion, because we run too much in this continent.
I mean, you speak to most Nigerian players. When they training in Nigeria is you first run like 20 laps before before you before you kick ball. So we definitely like running around. Dara Simi says Super Eagles and NFF are in a mess, and that emoji is, I guess, Dara Simi's face as he's making that comment. John Jones says this NFF is the worst NFF I have ever seen. So incompetent. So that's harsh words, but everybody has their opinion. I don't want to say if I agree or not. Me and FF people can't fight me. I don't have energy for fights. Okay, so I wanted to take the last caller, but I'm not sure where he has disappeared to. And we are nearly out of time. So before we go, Smith, I'm just going to, I guess, for everybody that's watching, to let you guys know that tomorrow on Eagle Striker YouTube channel, my exclusive interview with Super Eagles and Boa Vista defender Bruno Onyemaechi is going to be live. It's going to be premiering tomorrow. If you're in Nigeria, it premieres at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. If you are in Europe, depending on where you are, 7 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. If you are in North America, that's 2 p.m. Eastern, that's 1 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you watch. This is a fantastic story that this boy has. His journey is interesting. His journey is amazing from Owerri to the Super Eagles. Tried to play in the NPFL. They didn't allow him play in the NPFL. Made a move abroad. Worked his way up. Last season fought relegation. He spoke about how difficult it is to be fighting relegation. His club survived on goal difference last season. That's how they stayed up. Spoke about his relationship with Nnadozie Awaziem. Spoke about some of his goals for the future. Spoke about the fact that he did not play a single minute at the AFCON. I asked him about it. He spoke about it, spoke about how he felt, told me about a transfer that nearly happened. In fact, he said he was already leaving the AFCON camp to go and sign for a club during the AFCON. Everybody has already congratulations. Now, so the transfer just scatter. And he had to put his tail between his legs and come back to the camp. So it's a fantastic, interesting interview, about 59 minutes long. It premieres tomorrow on our YouTube channel. I promise that if you watch it, you'll enjoy it. I promise you guys. Okay, let me take the final caller very quickly for the next 1.5 minutes before we round up. HT, welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Good evening. Good morning.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
What? Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. We can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
I believe that for the Falcons, I like the team list. Okay, team list. And for the Super Eagles, we need a good coach. We need a good manager that can take you to the next level. That is it. So well done, guys. I love the work you are doing. I love you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for joining us and for giving us your opinion. Okay. So yes, that's the final call for tonight. Smith Layi, anything you want to say?
I just want to appreciate those that are watching the videos. I saw the numbers. Even person said we do interview. Our numbers are almost more than the. The person we do the interview. So guys, just keep watching. And then you guys are. In fact, somebody they called me say, "I saw what you talk about Soliseo." That is just my opinion. about it. Because I got a lot of voice notes that we saw you on this video. I want you to talk about like that too. That boy good. It's about me. I like the way I like the way you actually watch it, And I saw those comments too. Really, really engaging comments too. Keep it up, guys.
Yeah.
Just keep on sharing, and keep on watching.
Okay, before we go, I mentioned my interview tomorrow with Bruno Yamachi. This is the graphic for the interview from Owerri to the Super Eagles. Fantastic journey that this boy has. A young player with ambition, and I really believe that the sky's the limit for him. Let me just play a quick trailer, 30 seconds, to show you guys a little bit of what we discussed.
And I saw my name. It was unbelievable. Bro, Nigerian shirt the pressure is too much. So I would say the pressure is too much. I'm supposed to sign, and then I don't know what happened again, and I need to be back in Nigeria. Alfonso Davis, this guy playing by minute. I normally like to see his game whenever he's playing.
There you have it. We covered a lot of topics. We could not fit. I didn't want to put everything in the trailer. Maybe we know you not get everything, so you have to go and watch the interview tomorrow at 7 p.m. Nigerian time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Somebody said Pacific is 3 hours. Forgive me. Okay, it's 1 p.m. Central. Sorry, and 11 a.m. Pacific. Yes. Forgive me for that, but yes, make sure you watch it on YouTube tomorrow. Make sure you share with your friends, share with your family, share in all your group chats. Let us rack as many views as possible on this interview. My next interview after this is an interview with Fortune Bassi. It's going to come out next week. After the interview with Fortune Bassi, I have an interview with Ebele Gucci, a young player that's in Sweden. It's going to come out the week after that, and then depending on scheduling, I have an interview with Nicole Payne that I'm going to publish as well. That Nicole Payne interview is going to be another fire interview. All the interviews are fire, but the Nicole Payne one, the Bruno one, especially, you guys do not want to miss. It's been a pleasure talking football with you as always. We've crossed the 2-hour mark, so we have to let you guys go. I appreciate everyone that stuck with us throughout. Shout out to you guys on Twitter, man, on X. The viewership on Twitter is so fantastic. From when we start recording, the number of viewers never drops. It only keeps increasing, or it stays the same. It never drops. I love you guys on that platform. Shout out to everybody on YouTube as well. I love you guys as well. Even though you're not giving me the likes that I want, we've been having 60 plus people. We have only 33 likes. So please, before you go, just make sure you like the video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, just make sure you subscribe before you go. It is completely free. I promise you. They won't charge you anything for liking or for subscribing. Everyone on Facebook, I appreciate you guys as well. Everyone on Instagram, our family on Instagram, you guys know yourselves. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining the show. It's been a pleasure talking. As always, my name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith Layi. Thanks for joining.
This is the Niger FC